Hi, my name is Brenda Romero, and I'm game director on Empire of Sin, and you are watching I Know Your Game. We're talking about a strategy game set in 1920s Prohibition. Little hard to pinpoint it because it's got strategy in it, it's got empire management, it's got crew management. You're building a criminal empire, so it's fundamentally a strategy game, though. Well, I mean, that's in the US. So in the 1920s, in the US, they decide that's it, we're done with alcohol. And they outlaw alcohol. If you like to have a drink or you happen to own a bar, this is a terrible time. However, if you are an enterprising criminal, this is an amazing time for you to get into business. So this is when the game starts, right at the beginning of Prohibition. You're not working with, say, a super high-powered Al Capone. You're at Al Capone at the beginning of his career, or one of 13 other mob bosses. Yeah, so I would say our characters are mostly characters rooted in history. They were real. So for instance, Al Capone, Daniel McKee Jackson, Stephanie St. Clair, Elvira Duarte, Angelo Jenna. So there's a lot of characters that you will know. There's a few fictional characters that are archetypes of people who would have lived back then. Like say Goldie Garneau, she's a Canadian flapper. And she, Canadians made a lot of money during Prohibition because, well, they didn't have it. And there was not much between them and the United States. Or say Frankie Donovan in Chicago. One of the things I love about that time period is it wasn't just the mob bosses. And it was also the North Side versus the South Side and the Irish versus the Italians. So Frankie Donovan is just one of those Irish bosses. There's also Frank Reagan and Dean O'Banion. So there's a good mix in there. Well, I guess maybe the easiest way to look at it is through the player's eyes, right? And since I don't have a screen in front of me, I'll sort of describe that. So you arrive in Chicago and you're at the beginning of your career. So the first thing you've got to do is get a racket, and you can get speakeasies, casinos, breweries, brothels. You can even there's even union skimming in the game. So in your early career, you need to get a racket. And then the thing that really makes Prohibition era businesses run is alcohol. So how are you going to get it? You could maybe find it, you could buy it, or you can make it. So eventually that's what you want to do. And you want to continue to expand your empire. And things would in fact go just great if other people didn't have similar goals. So there's these other bosses at play. And there's also, I guess I'll be kind and call them enterprising thugs who think they can get a stand in there. So you have to take over those businesses to continue to grow your empire. And once it keeps going, you've got to secure it, fortify it, upgrade it, and make it as good as it can be. And ultimately your goal is to be the king or queen of Chicago. And you've got 13 years to do it. That's how long Prohibition lasts. Well, first you can expect it in spring 2020. It will be on PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC.
And if you're looking for salvation, well, you know you ain't gonna find it in the Empire.